step seems too hard to take. Every turn feels like a big mistake. It makes you wanna close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside. Mind.
morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to another fabulous Sunday morning. My name is Reverend Kris Alexander. I'm the senior minister here at Celebration Center, and it is lovely to see everybody's shining faces, whether I'm looking out at your face here in the room or I can sense your face for those of you that are online. If you are joining us online, I invite you to click that share button, let your friends and family know what you're up to this morning, and invite them to join you as well. And feel free to say good morning in the chats. And my question for everyone today is, what kind of sandwich is your favorite sandwich? What kind of sandwich is your favorite sandwich? What?
Film?
Sandwich.
Oh, sandwich.
No, what kind of sandwich is your favorite sandwich? Mine is an Italian sub. I'll go first. I didn't know this was a hard question. I would say my spouse's is a tomato sandwich. Am I right? Yep, tomato sandwich. Egg salad made with basil pesto. That is oddly specific and delicious sounding. Yes. A hoagie. Yep. Well, the reason I ask, and if you're online, let us know in the chat. What is your favorite sandwich? Meatball sub comes in a close second. Or a French dip. Maybe I'm just hungry this morning. But either way, the reason that I'm mentioning sandwiches this morning is because we have our town hall meeting at 12:30 today, and we have brought sandwich stuff for everyone to make their own sandwiches if you're joining us in person for that meeting. If you're joining us online, you'll have to make your own sandwich, but you can still come to the town hall meeting by going to our Zoom room at 12:30, going to celebrationcenter.org and clicking on Enter Zoom Events. But we are all going to be eating sandwiches together today. So we do have a fabulous Sunday morning planned for you this morning. We are beginning a new month with a new theme. We are going to be talking about speaking truth to circumstances. Speaking truth to circumstances, and we're launching the month talking about Monsters Incorporated, both the idea of monsters and the movie Monsters Incorporated. So stay tuned for that. We also have Jenn as our practitioner on platform. Let's give her a round of applause. And we have our glorious music director, Lynn Hollyfield, as well as Jenn providing our music today. And we have an amazing tech team in the back. We are so grateful for our tech team that allows us to be online with y'all, put so much stuff out on everything, does all of the stuff that none of the rest of us know how to do. So let's give them a round of applause as well. If you are joining us for the very first time today, an extra special welcome to you. We are so glad that you have found us and that you're checking us out this morning. And we invite you to fill out a guest card. You can do that by going to bit.ly/CCSL guest, or simply scanning this QR code right here if you're a tech savvy sort of person. Also, if you would like to give us a prayer request for our ministers, practitioners, and ministry of prayer to pray on throughout the week, you can do that by scanning this QR code that is popped up next to me, or go to celebrationcenter.org and click on Request Affirmative Prayer. Those prayer requests are held in confidentiality, and we will pray with you and for you throughout the week. Let's see. I have so many announcements today. I don't even know where to begin. So like I said, we do have a town hall meeting. We are inviting and encouraging everyone to attend that meeting, whether you are a member, a guest, a visitor, a regular attender, a lurker, whatever you may be. We invite you to come to that town hall meeting. We have a lot of really important updates to hand out today and in the coming weeks. So be sure to mark your calendars for the next 3 Sundays, today and 2 more, for our town hall meetings. We are providing, like I said, sandwiches today for folks in person. Next week will be our ice cream social before the event, and the Sunday after we'll have snacks or something. So be sure to be coming to those. And if you are joining us online, join at 12:30 by going to celebrationcenter.org and clicking on Enter Zoom Events. Our Science of Mind 101 class. Last week I announced a different date. It wasn't wrong, I didn't think at the time, but we are moving that to July 10th because Kathy, our New York member, pointed out to me that I had put it over top of Power of 8, and I did not mean to do that. So it is going to be Monday, July 10th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Zoom. Anybody and everybody is welcome to attend. You don't need to register. You don't need to know anything. In fact, it's almost better if you don't know anything, because then you come with an open, curious mind and come with all of your questions, all of your concerns, ideas, musings, whatever it may be, and join us as we talk about the foundations of Science of Mind and what the principles are that we hold. We also have the ice cream social that I just mentioned briefly. Next week, it is BYOT. So bring your favorite topping to share, and we will be providing both dairy and non-dairy ice cream options for us to make ice cream sundaes together before the town hall meeting. Also, a happy 4th of July to everyone. 4th of July is on Tuesday, and so I wanted to acknowledge and celebrate our country's independence from Britain, and happy 4th of July to all. Be sure to have safe, fun, whatever that may be for you. And let's see, what else? Oh, birthdays and anniversaries. As we're celebrating who has a birthday or an anniversary in the month of July? Anybody in the room? Oh, Miriam, you have a birthday. Oh, the big 50. Our board chair is turning the big 50. Really? I thought you were like 42. On the 28th of July. And I also know that Kathy, our member from New York, has her birthday on July 6th. So we will be and I believe I won't tell y'all how old she's turning, even though I know she's very excited about it. I'll let her tell y'all. Put it in the chat, Kathy, if you're watching and you want us to know, put it in the chat. And I also know that Tim Ferriss, our beloved Tim Ferriss, has his birthday on the 4th of July. He is an Independence baby. So let's sing happy birthday to everyone. And if we left you out, put what you have and what day it is so that we can celebrate with you.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you.
Y'all can just stay. Yay!
Birthday people.
And now I invite everybody to take a breath. If you are on our community email list, then you saw the email from me about Chet Hall. And if you are not, then I wanted to give everyone an update. So if you know Chet Hall, he has been a longtime member, contributor, and lover of this center and all things of this center. And he has been in the hospital for this past week. He was discharged into a skilled nursing facility on Friday. and they are expecting him to be in that skilled nursing facility moving forward. And so I know that that means that probably a lot of people would like to visit him, send him cards, love, call him, all of those things. And we want to make sure that he gets all of your love and support, and that he doesn't get overwhelmed by the amount of love and support that we have for him. So please keep an eye out. I'm going to be sending out another email onto that same members list. And if you are not a part of that and you want to get those updates about Chet, please reach out to me, Kris at celebrationcenter.org, and I can make sure that you find out about that. Included, I'm going to tell you how to send him things by mail if you want to mail him a card or whatever. I also am going to be giving updates on how we can go visit him and how we can have a schedule or rotation of visiting to make sure that we don't overwhelm him or the facility, but that we all get to show him our love and support, and then any guidelines that there may be around that visitation. So please do let me know if you're not on the email list, and if you are, just stay tuned, hold tight. He is getting settled in this weekend, and they have asked for no visitors while he does that, and we will be letting you know how you can make sure to love him up really good. And with that, I would like to invite Lynn and Jenn for an opening song.
Okay, we'd love if you would join in singing this opener, Stand by Karen Drucker. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Good morning. I'm Jenn Fay, one of the practitioners here. And I'd like to invite you to say our vision statement and just feel it in your heart. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. So, I was listening to a podcast. Some of you may know Krista Tippett, and and she was interviewing Pauline Boss, who has written like 4 books on ambiguous loss. It's like loss that just can't be reckoned with, explained, processed. And in that conversation, there were some things that really struck me about sometimes, how to respond to it, and how people come to reckon it by finding a truth that is comfortable. And so I didn't really find a reading I liked, so I was inspired to write a poem. It's called What Might Be True. I listen. Vibrations of my words fall to the ground. Thud, heavy. The person next to me asks, "What does this mean to you?" I close my eyes, aware of the fear and confusion at my feet. I reach down and pick those words up and place them on my heart. I hear the translation, "This is not true." I ask, what might be true? The rhythms of love reveal a comfortable version of truth. I can't help but breathe a deep sigh, sweet relief. I gently place the fear and the confusion back on the ground. An energetic gift to Mother Earth. And so join me in some conscious breathing. 3-part breath, inhaling, holding that breath, and exhale. Inhale, holding, and exhale. One more time. And so we connect with our heart, where all that truth lies, resides, all that wisdom that we have access to, right there, right in that sacred space. And as we connect with our hearts, we connect with all the hearts around us. That energy mingles and becomes this one energy of love and peace, compassion, curiosity, a willingness to know each other more deeply, a willingness to reach out when someone's feeling fear and confusion, a willingness to hold a space of knowing that beneath it all the discomfort, even the pain, there is love. And so imagine all of this wonderful supportive energy flowing from each of us out into the world. And if there's any person, place, or circumstance you want to direct your heart energy, just take a moment and do that now. And so we pray. There is one life, one expansive, brilliant life. This life of spirit is expressing through all of life, all the details of life, even the experience that we humans have of fear and confusion. It is expressing even there. It is holding us in a space of light, to lighten us up, to lighten us out, to fill us with light, to help us be all we came here to be as spirit in form. And so as I affirm this truth, I can relax, I can surrender, I can let go, knowing that I'm never alone in any of this. None of this human experience that might be challenging, I'm never alone in it. None of us are ever alone in any of it. But there is so much support all around us, within us, and from each other. And so it is with a grateful heart that I breathe into this knowing, grateful for everyone here, everyone who has ever passed through these doors, everyone online, that we're all connecting right now in this sacred space, that each of us is contributing to this time, giving of our energy, our consciousness, that we each matter. And so I simply release these words and ideas into that law that always responds beautifully. We are blessed. And as we relax into that grace, life gets lighter. And so it is.
I'm going to share an original song called When We Keep Our Eyes on Spirit. Looking forward, we're not what's happened to us. We are floating in a sea of love. Our choices are words, our voices are heard. Direct and guide our course, reverberate, we're never lost. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring, what's been locked up inside is rising up. No steep climbs, we're lifted up, we flow in time. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. Looking upward, there's more than what's before our eyes. We are swimming in a sea of light. Our vision is keen, our actions are seen. What we choose to do in time illuminates from our mind. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring, what's been locked up inside is rising up. There's no steep climbs, we're lifted up, we flow in time. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. Looking above to the vast blue sky, an ocean of light fills our eyes. Looking above at the dark starry night, we're resting in love of divine light. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God, wonders restoring, what's been locked up inside is rising up. There's no steep climbs, we're lifted up, we flow in time. When we keep our eyes on spirit, when we keep our eyes on God. When we keep our eyes rise on spirit when we keep our eyes on God.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Jenn. Jenn, that poem was beautiful. Thank you. I love the creativity of our community. We have Jenn writing poems for readings, and Lynn often writes songs for themes, and it's just amazing. We have Miriam doing art, and Nancy doing art, and Stephanie doing art, and there's just so much amazing creativity in this center, and I feel so blessed that we get to have it be a part of our services. So thank you both very much. And with all of that, I turned off my tablet. All right. It's a new month, y'all. Are y'all ready to be done with self-care and moving on to something else? So this month we are talking about this idea of speaking truth to circumstances. Have any of you ever heard where that came from, which is the phrase speaking truth to power? Has anybody heard that? I see some nods, I see some confused faces, mostly nods and hand raises. So it's basically this idea that just because something or someone or some company or whatever it may be is in a position of power or control does not mean that we don't get to speak truth to it. And I think often what happens, and the reason that we have changed that for this month to speaking truth to circumstances, is that I don't know about y'all, maybe it's just me, but I have definitely had circumstances come up in my life where they seemed like they had all of the power or all of the control in my life, and I was at the effect of what felt like causes that were happening in these circumstances. And what I get to do is I get to step back and I get to speak truth to those circumstances. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this month. So my next question for y'all, and y'all can answer in the comments as well. If you're joining us online, by all means, please participate in the comments. We want to see your answers as well. How many people have seen Monsters, Inc.? Okay, about a fourth of y'all. It's okay, you don't have to have seen it. However, it's adorable, highly recommend it. Y'all know I am always and forever going to tell you to go watch kids' movies. Monsters, Inc. Like Incorporated. Monsters, Inc. So in this movie, Monsters, Inc., will you pull up our teaser so that they can see So in this movie, we have two monsters, and if you notice, they are terrified. And if you look at the shadow behind them, what they are terrified of is a little girl. All right, so you can take that down. So basically in this movie, Monsters, Inc., there is a alternative dimension of monsters, and their whole city runs on children's screams. And so they have this whole elaborate mechanism to bring down children's closet doors, and when they go in the door, they scare the child screams, they bottle it, and that is the energy that their city is powered on, okay? And what ends up happening is that due to a series of bad decisions, one of the children goes through the closet door the other direction and ends up in the monster city. And it turns out that the monsters are terrified of children, far more scared of children than they are than children are of them. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever said, there's a giant spider in the bathtub? And then some well-meaning person says, it's more scared of you than you are of it. Not helpful, right? But yet in this movie, the monsters are terrified of the children. So antics ensue, as you might expect in a movie. And by the end, well, actually, we're not going to go there yet. We're not going to go to the end yet. And so what made me laugh was this idea. This is exactly what we're talking about. So if we're looking at the monsters as the circumstances of our lives, they can look big and scary and insurmountable, especially when they are festering away in the dark corners of our closets. And isn't that so often what we tend to do? When something comes up and tends to loom over us, we do whatever it takes to stuff it down and put it away and shove it into a closet so we don't have to look at it. And yet, that is what keeps it big and scary and really in our face, because then it's living rent-free in our mind. It's back there and you're going, oh God, that's still in the closet. I haven't done it yet. It's still in the closet. I don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it, but it's still there. It's in the closet, right? It becomes the elephant in the room, except it's the monster in the closet. And it's all you can think about. And isn't that what children do? That's all they can think about. You have to check the closet for the monsters. You have to check under the bed for the monsters, all of these places, because where you can't see, that's where things might be festering. A monster's not going to hang out on your rocking chair in the corner of your room because you could see that. It'd be out. It wouldn't be as scary. It would be in the light. And so what happens is that we continue to feed this fear by refusing to look at where the fear is coming from. And so what we get to do is we get to be our own parents, because most of us don't have parents that can check our closets and look under our beds for us. And we get to open the closet doors and move around the clothes and pull out the monsters and look at them. And what we find is when we do that, they often aren't as scary and overwhelming as we think they are. As we go through this movie, this Monsters, Inc. movie, of course, it's made for small children, so the monsters can't really be all that scary, right? But there's this cuddly little tiny monster, and then so that he can go into children's closets and scare them so he can get screams, he puts in these big teeth, but really they're just dentures, right? Or there's another monster that he looks totally chill, and then these spines come up on his back when he wants to be scary, but he's pretty cuddly. And really in that picture, the little girl that comes through, she's not scared of any of the monsters. In fact, she calls Sully, the big blue monster that you saw, she calls him Kitty. And she just wants to hug him and love him and be around him because he's so cute and cuddly. And yet he is the number one scare employee of the month. He is the scariest monster, but when he's out in the light and just hanging out with her, he's really just not that scary, right? And isn't that true of our circumstances? Sure, put him up one more time. See, over there on the right, this one, he's pretty fluffy, y'all. He really is. All right. So what I have learned is that fear tends to be in the future, right? Maybe not always, but in general, if we're fearing something, it's in the future. Because when something's happening, we're handling it, we're facing it, we're doing the hard thing. Glennon Doyle says, we can do hard things. Y'all, I say that to myself all the time. I can do hard things. And then once you get into the hard thing, usually it's not so bad. Might suck, but you get through it, right? If you're here, you've gotten through every hard, scary thing that you've ever had to do in your life because you're sitting here. And I don't think that sitting here is a hard, scary thing for any of you. I hope not. If it is, talk to me. We got to fix something, right? But fear tends to be in the future. So if you are dreading something bad happening, and then that something bad happens, are you still dreading that something bad happening? No, because it already happens. It already happens. Now, there might be a new bad thing that you're dreading. The best example that I heard of this was a snake biting you. So you see a snake. How many people are afraid of snakes? Oh, I got a lot of hands for that. More of y'all are afraid of snakes than have seen Monsters, Inc. We need to change something. But anyways, so you see a snake. Are you afraid of seeing a snake anymore? No, because you've seen the snake. You're not afraid of seeing the snake. It's already happened. And then you want to stay away from the snake, but it starts to come closer, and then it bites you. Are you still afraid of the snake biting you? No, because it's already bitten you. Now you might be afraid of dying from the snake bite, but you're not afraid of getting bit anymore because you already made it through that experience. So fear is always in the future. And so for every circumstance that kind of comes towering up in front of us, what we get to do is open the closet door, turn on all of the lights, and face it. Because even if that bad thing happens to us, chances are we're gonna make it through. Might not make it through easily, might not make it through gracefully, might not make it through without screaming and crying and gnashing of teeth, but we will make it through, and we have our community. Now, yesterday, I was hanging out with the board of directors. We were eating breakfast and doing all kinds of fun stuff, meeting and everything like that. And one of our board members, who shall remain nameless because I didn't ask them if I could tell y'all who it was, said they have a phrase in their house. Their phrase is, don't go to the dentist before you go to the dentist. Don't go to the dentist before you go to the dentist. I know, what does that mean, right? And that's what I was like, okay, whatever. But it's brilliant. When you have a dentist appointment and you're scared of the dentist, what's the first thing you do? You start thinking about it. Oh my God, I have to go to the dentist. I have to go to the dentist next week. I'm going to go to the dentist next week, and maybe I have a cavity. And then if I have a cavity, I'm going to have to get it filled. And if I have to get it filled, then I might have to get Novocaine. And if I have to get Novocaine, maybe it won't work, and I'll have to get this is what my brain does. See how good I am at running this out because I hate the dentist, right? And none of that has happened. None of it has happened, and yet you're already there. You're already at the dentist office. The worst possible scenario has happened. Now you're getting a cavity that you don't even have filled in your mind. And so just completely lost my train of thought there. The advice from our board member is don't go to the dentist before you go to the dentist. When you schedule the dentist appointment, you don't need to start the trip to the dentist at that moment. You can wait until you actually go physically to the dentist. And the beautiful thing about our minds, the beautiful thing and the challenging thing is that they can't tell the difference between if we're actually doing something or if we're just imagining that we're doing it. How cool is that? So we can really, in a lot of ways, use that to our own benefit. This is common practice now in sports teams and athletes where they will sit in meditation or mindfulness, and they will, in their minds, go through every single motion and play and step and throw and kick and hit and whatever their sport is, and they will see it all happening so clearly in their mind's eye. If they are a golfer, they will sit there and they will feel all of the muscles that are going to engage when they swing back the club, and they're going to think about which club am I going to use on which course. And then in their mind's eye, they hit the ball and they watch it sail and go right into the hole and get a hole in one. And they have proven that by doing that the athlete's abilities and talents and skills improve. That athletes, even athletes who haven't been on the field in a long time, who every day are practicing in their mind's eye, that their skills don't deteriorate, but rather they increase. That is how powerful our mind is. And so then we take that power and we go to the dentist before we go to the dentist. And we take that power and we think about everything that could go wrong. And we think about how bad it could be and what might happen and what would happen if that happened and what would happen if that happened and what would happen if that happened. And so what we get to do is stop that cycle. We get to speak truth to those circumstances. We get to say, no, here's what I know to be true. I know that so far my track record for getting through hard things is 100%. I am here, and so every other single hard thing that I have had to face, I've gotten through. And I know that I am powerful enough to get through whatever this is. So let's round back out with Sully and monsters and this little girl that's running around terrorizing the monster community simply by existing. And what they learn, so they're trying to hide her in their house. Sully and his friend, who's Mike Wazowski, are trying to hide the little girl because if they find out, if the government or the corporation finds out that this little girl is in their house, they're going to lose their jobs. They're going to have to go through detox, all of this really bad stuff. So they're trying to hide that she's there. And she loves it. She thinks it's the greatest thing ever, right? And all of a sudden she starts laughing. And now remember, the whole city, all of the electricity is run on children's screams. And when she starts laughing in their house, she blows out all of the electricity for the whole city block. Because what they discover is that children's laughter is 100 times more powerful than children's screams. And all of the sudden, they also discover that, there's bad stuff happening behind the scenes. I'm sure none of us have discovered bad things happening behind the scenes, right? And so they go and they tell their boss what they've learned and they say, hey, guess what? Children aren't scary. There's no reason for us to be scaring them just because we're scared of them. There's no reason scaring them. Yeah, I did say that right. There's no reason for us to be handling things this way. There is a better way. And isn't that speaking truth to circumstances? To come and to learn new information and to stay curious and open and explore what might be possible. And then when you discover a new way that's 100 times better than the old way, to speak that truth and to say, I know a better way. I'm going to open the closet. I'm going to turn on the light. I'm going to shine the truth in all of these areas. And all of a sudden, we're all going to come together and work together, and we're going to find a new way. And so the movie ends, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know how the movie ends, because you're going to go watch it, plug your ears, or if you're online, turn off the sound for like 20 seconds. But spoiler alert, what happens at the end of the movie is that they stop trying to get children's screams, and instead they begin making children laugh. And so one of the very final scenes of the movie is Mike is sitting on a stool like you would find in a stand-up comedy center, and he has a microphone and there's a spotlight on him and he's telling jokes to this kid in their bedroom, and the kid is laughing their head off and powering their whole city. All of a sudden, when they're willing to come out of the shadows and step into the light, everything is solved. And so that's what we get to do. We get to gently coax our monsters out from the corner, whether we're the monster and we're scared of a little girl, or whether we're the little girl and we're scared of the monsters. Either way, we get to coax them out. And we get to see what is the new, greatest, highest vision right here for my life. What is being called of me during this hard thing that I might be experiencing? What is actually happening in this moment? I'm going to not go to the dentist before I go to the dentist. I'm going to not assume that that test is going to come back positive and the doctor is going to have a new diagnosis for me. I'm going to not worry about crashing my car every time I get into it. Yes, I'm going to put my seatbelt on. I'm going to drive safely. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to stay safe, but I'm not going to have the car accident before I have the car accident, or get the diagnosis before I get the diagnosis, or go to the dentist before I go to the dentist. Instead, I'm going to just stop and I'm going to be here now. I'm going to stand in my own truth. And so I want to end today with a poem. I don't actually know the full name of the author of this poem, but their initials are MHN. That is how they have signed this poem. And what they say is, let July be July, and let August be August, and let yourself just be, even in the uncertainty. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to solve everything. And you can still find peace and grow in the wild changing of things. And so this month, we're just going to let July be July. We're going to let August be August. And together, we're going to find peace as we grow in the wild of changing things. Thank y'all. All right, Lynn and Jenn, I invite you up for another song.
Okay, we're going to share this song, Diving. Diving, diving in, diving into the unknown. We chose the seeds that we've sown. We walk with thoughts that we own, diving into the unknown. Diving, diving in, diving into the unknown. Take a breath, watch what's been shown. Take a breath on this winding road, diving into the unknown. Stay open to knowing we are forever growing. The sacred mysteries unfolding to us all. Diving, diving in, diving into the unknown. Listening, what do you hear? Listening, throw away your fears. Diving into the unknown. Floating on the waves, guided by the silver stream, we choose the way. Feet first, diving freely. Diving, diving in, diving into the unknown. Clearly see the flowing stream, clearly see who you want to be, diving into the unknown. Stay open to knowing we are forever growing. The sacred mystery is unfolding to us all. To us all.
Diving into the unknown.
To us all.
Diving.
Beautiful. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings, and knowing that your presence here is a blessing to this community. And that is your presence here, whether you are physically sitting here in this room or you are joining us online. We are so grateful for the energy, love, and presence that you bring to this community. And please also know that your gifts, your offerings, your time, your talent, your treasures, all of it is what goes to support this center, to give us the resources to continue to bring that vision, mission, and purpose to the world. And so if you have a donation, a tithe, an offering that you would like to give today, you can do that in a few different ways. You can click on this QR code that's right up here next to me if you are feeling nice and savvy, computer savvy. You can also go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button. Or if you are here in the room, we do have the basket over on the side for you. And now, Jenn, would you like to come up for an affirmation and prayer?
And so join me in our offertory affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so we just relax into this opening to receive. And it's from that overflowing feeling of receiving that it is just natural to give back. It is just natural to share from our abundance, from our lives, from our experiences. It's natural to share our consciousness and contribute to the mission and purpose, the wonder of this organization, this community, this beloved community. And so as we share from who we are, we bless everyone beyond this community. And so it is.
Okay, we're going to do our closing song, and I hope you'll sing along with us and stand if you're able. We're going to sing the beautiful song, Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Let's think of everyone, lend them a helping hand, now put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, now put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Now put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, now put a little love in your heart. I hope that you decide that kindness will be your guide. Now put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. little love in your heart. Put a 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 little love in your heart.
I got so enthusiastic singing that I bit my own tongue. So as a reminder, we have our town hall meeting in 31 minutes from now. If you are here in the room, we have sandwiches for you. We have some sandwiches and snacky foods, things like that. So stay, grab some food, and be sure to join us. If you are online, please come join us for that town hall meeting. I don't care if you have been lurking for years and we didn't even know that you were coming. Please come to this town hall meeting so we can give you all of the good information, whether you are a member, an attender, if you're a visitor but you're interested, anyone and everyone is welcome to come to this meeting. And you can find the Zoom by going to celebrationcenter.org and clicking on Enter Zoom Events. And now I invite everyone to repeat after me. Something wonderful is being revealed to me today. I stand in my truth. I face my fears. I allow life to unfold as me. I am powerful. And so it is.